Yes, indeedy. It is KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. You know what it means. Once again, it is time for Open Mic Radio. Let's get it rolling with one from our featured guest today. This is Chaz Prymek with the Lake Mary Project.
Thank
All right, that's the way I like to start this radio program. Wonderful stuff. Welcome to the program. It's Open Mic Radio, Saturday, December 17th. And glad you're with us. Do this every Saturday afternoon, most at least. Live music and interviews with some of Missouri's finest musicians and bands. My name is Mike Hagan, and it's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I'm joined once again by kind Kurt. Hello, my brother.
Hello, Slater, Missouri.
All right, Kurt's providing the theme music and some needed camaraderie. All right. Anyway, yes, we do. We feature awesome local and regional music and the artists who create it. Pretty dang cold out, but it's December, I guess. But anyway, hope you're having a great weekend. As always, a lot to do in the Columbia area. And
a little chilly weekend.
Yeah, I know. It's hold on.
Chilly weather.
Hold on. Next week or so is going to be rough. I'm going to Phoenix, though. I'm going to Arizona pretty soon. So
when are we going there?
You're holding down the fort here.
What?
You didn't get the memo, huh?
Yeah, how's that possible?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Your
right,
parasitic twin. I don't see how we can't.
The
where
Parasitic
you go,
Twins.
I go.
That's a good band name, the Parasitic Twins.
It's you and I, brother.
Anyway, okay. Columbia, Missouri on the weekend, Friday night, last night. What'd you do? Phone numbers are open, or the phone lines are open, I should say. Give us a call sometime during the program today to say hi, all right? 573-443-8255 if you want to say hello to me and Kurt and our guest this afternoon, okay? I am super looking forward to the show. With us in the studio today is a new friend and a remarkable musician. His name is Chaz Prymek, but often plays under the moniker Lake Mary. It's a project of his that we'll learn a little bit about this afternoon. He's a wonderful songwriter. He's a great guitarist, and I'm excited to spend some time with Chaz, and he's going to play some tunes for us. I'm also expecting a visit from Miss Violet Vonder Haar. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like expecting a visit.
Yeah,
she's already here.
Yeah.
Grab that mic, would you, Vi?
Hey.
Hello, Violet's in the house, and Chaz, you can say hi, and Kurt, we already said hi to you, so you don't have to say anything. Anyway, awesome. All right. Unfortunately, I'd be super excited, but we are missing Ray Fitzgerald. Ray's a little bit under the weather for the last few days, and we decided it'd be best if she were feeling 100% before we get her down here and have her do her thing. So
get better, Ray.
Yeah, we hope you're feeling better out there, Miss Ray, and that we get to see you down here soon. Okay. All right. Yeah, what else? We're going to do a rundown of some things that are happening, I guess. Around 5 o'clock, we'll talk about some things that are happening around town. Is there anything happening?
Yeah, a few.
It was so busy downtown last night. I mean, there's got to be a lot going on. Violet's got some things to talk about, I think. Anyway, once again, the phones are open, 573-443-8255. A couple more things, and we'll get back to the music, but a big thank you to TK. She's grooving on the one mic since 2 o'clock. Great stuff this afternoon. And we have Peter helping her out, I think, as well. Before that, Morgan and a Motherland Jam. Awesome stuff. Great music from across the continent of Africa. That's from noon until 2 every Saturday afternoon. 2 until 4, like I say, one mic, and then we got the helm until 6 o'clock here, Open Mic Radio. We've got Chaz Prymek in the house with us this afternoon. Violet's here. I think my buddy Justin Hickerson may stop down. He's got a couple things he want to chat about. Band called Fox Teeth. I keep hearing more about him, and I'm going to try to get them down here, and he's part of that project. But anyway, after us, what happens?
Shumba,
the reggae party, man.
Reggae party, man.
That's right. Get your dancing shoes on, open up a red stripe, and roll
Reggae
yourself a big
party.
fatty.
It's a reggae party.
And you can jam out. Roots Rock Reggae, honestly the best in Roots Rock Reggae right here in mid-Missouri, coming to you from Ross Shumba and a reggae party, 6 to 8 KOPN. Chris takes the helm at 8 o'clock with Blues on Broadway, 8 to 11. Just keep it dialed in here, all right? We got great stuff all night, and your imagination station, you know it, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. Last week, Big Cat Matt. Once a month, we give up our spot. Not give up. We share our spot with Big Cat Matt Deal. He's a rockabilly savant, and if you like that type of music, the second Saturday of every month, check it out.
That was a great show.
Oh my God, I was here actually because
it was still a good show though.
Well, I know I didn't ruin it. Anyway, the reason I was here was we had a Big Cat Matt had an interview with Deke Dickerson set up. Yeah, Violet, are you familiar with Deke?
A little bit.
He's a Columbia native. A while back, actually graduated from Rockbridge High School back in the day, but he's sort of a sensation in the rockabilly world and plays all around the world, and Big Cat had an interview set up with Deke, so I got the pleasure of interviewing or engineering, I should say, for that interview. And
Looked like it sounded like it was touch and go there for a minute. But
we didn't think he was going to call.
He pulled it off.
Matt thought he's like, he's not calling. I'm like, he's going to call.
He comes here.
Right. Anyway, so we did that last week. The week before that, we had John Galbraith, another fantastic guitarist from around these parts. John's got a new record out. He's involved in so many projects, but the John Galbraith Trio has a new record out called...
John's going to be down at the Dive Bar tonight.
Tonight,
8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Actually, that's one of about 3 announcements I have later on in the show for
Okay,
what's
we don't
going
have a
around
lot.
town.
Anyway.
Glad we got to that.
So the JG3, however, they've got a new record. It's called Another. And so we got to hear some of the songs from that record and got to hang out with John for a little bit. All right. Okay. What else? We're missing John Lamb, unfortunately, as well too. A good friend of mine who's a professional videographer. He did some great stuff with Violet actually a few months ago. But John is not here today. I imagine he's listening. Hi, John, and we miss you down here. Anyway, from time to time he shoots video during the show and gets some great stuff from some of the performers and the performances here in the studio. And I sure appreciate it. If you'd like to see some of the amazing things that John has done and some of the great performances we've had right here in the studio, you can check them out on the website. That's Mike Hagan, MikeHagan, MikeHagan.com, or find me on Instagram, Open Mic Radio. If you missed the show a couple weeks ago, or if you miss any of them for that matter, you can subscribe to the podcast, and then they'll show up magically, and you'll never miss another one, okay? All right, KOPN.org, MikeHagan.com. Today's show, the brilliant guitarist in the house, a wonderful songwriter as well, Mr. Chaz Prymek, and it's a pleasure to have him here. So I will say hello. Hi, Chaz.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I've got lots of questions for you, and we've got plenty of time, though. So will you play another song before we... Well, I'll tell you what, Violet, how are you for time?
I've got a half hour-ish.
Okay.
Let's do Violet.
Okay, well, let's talk with Violet a little bit, because sometimes when Chaz gets into it, he goes for a while. So we're gonna let him kind of let loose in a little bit here. But let's find out what's on Miss Violet Vonder Haar's mind this afternoon. And for people unfamiliar, and I think most people are familiar, but Violet, wonderful local regional musician, songwriter, businesswoman, entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You got a whole lot of hats you're
That
wearing
title.
these days, girl.
Yeah, no, I don't know how it happens, but
Most recent project, the new Compass Listening Room down there on Hitt
Compass
Street
Music
and
Center.
University. Talk a little bit about what you got going and why you wanted to chat with us this afternoon.
well, we've just got new lights at our stage for the listening room, so it's very exciting.
I
but
saw
we're,
when you were doing all
I
the...
know, it's great. So we have an exciting concert coming up on Friday with a traditional jazz band called Annie and the Fur Trappers.
Okay.
Annie graduated from Mizzou years ago. She was actually Phil, Sean, and I. Our roommate for the first year we got together. So
really?
we lived together for a short time. But she's out in Boston now, and she's been touring with this band, and they are so much fun.
I wonder if she knows
Really
Sam Furkey.
Possibly.
I don't know. I mean, both in Boston doing the jazz
Yeah.
thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is... When is that?
That's on Friday, so New Year's Eve.
Okay.
We've got a swing dance starting at 6 o'clock, swing dance class starting at 6 o'clock, and then the show will start at 7. We're going to have...
A class?
yes.
So if you want to learn a little bit about swing dancing.
Yeah, really simple half-hour class. We'll teach you some simple moves, and then starting at 7, we'll have the show, and we'll have some hors d'oeuvres and mocktails from Bardal Butcher and Table.
All right.
And all ages are invited.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Are you selling tickets up front?
Yes,
or?
we've got tickets online at compasscolumbia.org. Students are $5, and then adults are $25 in advance and 30 days show. And that covers the class, and that covers the mocktails and the hors d'oeuvres.
Okay, so it's sort of a one-size-fits-all sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right. And just the one artist playing for the
Yep.
entire evening?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. That's great. Having jazz on New Year's Eve is cool.
Oh, yeah, we're excited. It's
Right.
going to be a good time.
Okay. What else?
We have
got a few minutes here. What else you got going on?
We're just about to announce our programming for next semester. We've got some really exciting things coming up. Last semester we did this thing called the Intergenerational Rock Band Choir. And backed by popular demand, we decided to bring it back. So mid-February, we'll be starting up rehearsals for that. And it's an intergenerational choir that's backed by a rock band.
Ha,
And then
cool.
we sing, favorite rock and pop hits from the past 5 to 6 decades.
Awesome.
So that's going to be a really good time. And then we have a beginner guitar class that'll be starting in March. And I should have written all this down because we have so much coming up. We have a songwriters club that we're starting. We're going to start some jazz jams once a month. Lots more coming, but...
Okay, so when you mentioned a beginning guitar class, who's doing the teaching? Are you having guest teachers come in? Are you employing people to give lessons, or how's it working?
Yeah, this class will actually be taught by a husband and wife duo. Julie, I don't remember her husband's name right now. We actually just recently met her, and she's our first local teacher that used our space for a recital. So our listening room is available for rent, and so she rented the space out and she has about 4 students that they use the space for their
fantastic. That's a great alternate purpose for the room when you're not using it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great space. It's a great stage, and now you got the lighting and everything.
Yeah, it feels so good.
I loved watching you put the TV stand together as well too. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad it was on the warp speed.
Right.
It would have been a lot more boring. We're just like staring at the thing like, oh my gosh, how do we do this?
Wait, okay, this way? No, that way. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, how's Phil?
She's doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah. She's still at the center. She was working with the High Steppers this morning, so we started this program with the High Steppers a couple months ago where Phil Sean's put together a really solid team of instructors and been helping them become better drummers.
And
great.
I was going to say, she's still teaching drums. And Lloyd's, well, did you ever hear from Lloyd?
Haven't actually spoke to him since the Sam Furkey show. But
okay, and I guess who else do I want to ask about? Our flautist saxophone friend.
Yes, Tony.
Mr. Tony Lotvin.
Tony is amazing. We love him so much. We're so grateful to have him on our team.
And he feels the same about you. I know that. So anyway, okay. Well, I'm super psyched. I love what you all are doing over there, and we just you keep at it. And
well, thanks for your support.
Yeah, if you need any, you got an open door here. So. All right.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Violet Vonder Haar. I wish you would have brought your guitar because since Ray's not here, we got a little extra time. But we are. Remember, you and Phil were going to figure out something when you get both of you to come down.
Yeah, I tried to get her over here today.
I know how. I know. Well, you got a few things going on.
Yeah,
so.
just a couple.
All right.
Hopefully things will kind of slow down for us. We'll see.
Next year sometime, okay?
Yeah.
That's not long, All right, Violet Vonder Haar. Once again, compasscolumbia.org.
Yep.
Right? And, check out the New Year's show. It's going to be going down there about a week from... No,
New
2
Year's
weeks from...
Eve
2 weeks from tonight.
This Friday. Yes. December 30th.
Yeah.
We have more time than I was thinking.
A little over a week.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be on the air next week.
Christmas Eve is coming up this Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
So, anyway, 2 weeks from tonight, New Year's Eve. Right? Check out compasscolumbia.org, all right? All right, Violet, cheers, girl.
Thank you.
All right, and...
yeah, you too.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so... let's do another song.
Let's hear some music from Chaz.
I'm going to ask Chaz a question, though, first.
All right.
Because on a lot of his material, it shows your last name is Chaz Knapp, Knapp.
Oh, and you know what?
Is that...
That's not me. That's a different Chaz.
So
There's 3 of us.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So the Lake Mary project involves another guy named Chaz.
Lake Mary is just me.
Yeah.
Just Chaz Prymek.
Right.
I do have a couple records in the canon with Chaz Knapp, who lives in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
I see, because you've recorded some music with him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Chaz
I was thinking
Chaz.
I was really thinking I was losing it.
Chaz on Chaz.
Wow. Okay. Well, that solves that question. So let's
double your Chaz, double your.
And don't worry, everyone. When we come back, we'll actually talk with Chaz and find out a little bit about his background. And you know how we do it here. But I want to get some music first. So, all right.
Pardon my tuning.
It's Open Mic Radio, and you're listening to it here. KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org this afternoon. Chaz Prymek, Lake Mary in the house. A little visit there from Violet, and we're going to get back into the music here. So, Chaz, why don't you play a song for us? Or maybe tell us a little bit about it first.
Oh, this one is kind of under construction, if you will.
Uh-huh.
But it's one I've been playing mostly lately in my spare time.
All right, so it's one that you're building right now.
One I'm building right now.
All right, I love it. We're going to hear a new one here then. Chaz Prymek and Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. There you go, my friend. Holy cow.
Man.
I got to make sure we let those ring out. You realize that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Chaz Prymek in the house. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Lots and lots of questions for you, young man. All right. Where are you from originally, Chaz?
I grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay. And musicians in the family, how did you become a musician? I want to talk a little bit about your background and your training as far as a guitarist.
Well, mostly I grew up, like, my dad played, my brother played, my mom played a little bit, and we all took piano lessons growing up, all my siblings, but my dad really was, like, steeped in, like, ECM, instrumental guitar music.
So he was a guitarist.
Guitarist, yeah. Would play, like, some Leo Kaki on...
I love Leo Kaki. We were just talking about Kaki last week. He was here a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
Did you go to the show?
Of course I went to the show.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah.
So a lot of, like, ECM music, a lot of Wyndham Hills music, if you know those record labels.
George Winston. And,
oh, yeah.
Michael Hedges was a big... I like to play the guitar. I'm not very good, but I love listening, and I like to mess around a little bit. And I remember Michael Hedges was one of those Wyndham guys. He was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
died
Michael
way
Hedges,
too young, man.
Alex DeGrassi,
yes,
Will Ackerman.
Yes. Oh, Will Ackerman. Hadn't thought about that for a while,
So
but yes.
good.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a little bit about your influences, certainly. Huh?
Yeah, I grew up on that stuff and found my way through punk rock and funk music, and then into the avant-garde, and kind of came all back home into this.
And you were in Salt, but
Nick Drake too.
Oh, Nick Drake is number one for me. Pink Moon, favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
But Salt Lake City is where you actually sort of cut your teeth?
Yeah, in the Salt Lake City scene.
How long have you been here in Missouri?
Well, I've been coming here playing in different festivals and stuff since like 2010, I think. But I've lived here the last 6 years.
Well, it's probably Matt Crook then.
Matt Crook is responsible for everything.
Well, he's certainly a big part of that scene when it comes to the experimental music and the kind of stuff that you're interested in.
Yeah.
So is that how you originally got here? Was it one of the original the inaugural Columbia Experimental Music Festival?
Yeah, that's a huge part of it.
Holy smokes! Well, Matt's been here on he comes on every year in October, usually at some time in the month, to talk about whatever's going to be happening, at the Experimental Music Festival that year.
Yeah.
And in fact, he was just here with us October of this year,
ago, yeah.
and your name came up during that conversation, and that was one of the reasons why you're here today, because at the end of every interview that I do with people, I usually say, hey, who should I have on the show? And he said, well, you got to get Chaz and Lake Mary. And anyway,
Thanks,
so...
Well, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, but Matt's badass, and he's an amazing collaborator, and he's done a great he's in the middle of an amazing project with the Columbia Experimental Music Festival.
It's incredible what he does.
Yeah, and this year was... I don't know. It's hard to top. It's always hard to top the one he does the year before, but this year was outstanding.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so how did that happen? How did you make that connection?
I think, well, I was coming out playing in different bands for the True False Film Festival, and some website. There's this website, Tom to the Weather Machine, that reviewed one of our albums. I can't remember, either mine or Matt's, and it was like, if you like Lake Mary or you like Nevada Green, you'll love one or the other. Right. So I listened to it and became a fanboy, really. And I wrote to him like, hey, I'm coming through town. Let's play a show or let's hang out or something.
Right.
And we did. And it was 2014 that Lake Mary and the Ranch Family Band went on a West Coast tour, and we drug Matt and Nevada Green along with us. And the rest is history.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Lake Mary. When did that project begin? And tell us a little bit about what it's about. What's the Lake Mary project about?
Lake Mary is kind of my heart and soul project. I think I really got going like 2000, probably around 2009. I started taking it a little bit more seriously and learning, and like starting to play out more and.
So have you had like formal training, like any kind of thing, or are you
a little bit
just picking it up by ear and noodling around?
Yeah, mostly exploratory. I did like when I was like 13 and 14. I took lessons for a little while.
I mean, clearly you have some training. I mean, you can explore the guitar, but there's some techniques though, picking and stuff though too that I can tell you. I don't know. It seems like
it's hard to say though.
I guess I don't know. I see.
Sometimes I think some people are just born with it.
I believe that.
I did take beginning guitar lessons in Salt Lake City, like in my teen years,
right?
And then and now I take like kind of here and there lessons with like guitarist Jessica Ackerley or Josh Cochran, who's from here. And I studied.
Josh Cochran's a hell of a player.
Oh, he can play anything, right? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I studied with like sort of. I'm putting air quotes for those who can't see. It's like studied with like Stefan Basho-Hunyans, and
I'm not familiar.
He's this kind of or was this really exploratory guitar player who's I take a lot from him. Much in the vein of Robbie Basho and like more guitar players leaning that way. If you're a guitar nerd like me, that means something.
Right.
But so that's kind of where like how I developed a style was like all these influences on playing and like how I learned to play like that. And my dad and my brother taught me a lot too. And a lot of like just playing.
What's your brother do?
He is deceased now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Younger brother or older brother?
Older brother.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I have an older sister who passed away when I was very young, and she never. Well, that's the way it rolls sometimes.
Yeah,
So
true that.
Anyway, my heart goes to you, and maybe you write a song, or maybe you have. I better.
Plenty of them.
So with your guitar, is that like an open tuning that you use?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, mostly open tunings.
Okay.
If you put me in standard, I'm lost.
Okay. I was wondering, like, do you have a favorite open tuning that you tend to gravitate towards? I don't want to give away any trade secrets or anything like that, but
I'll say this one's been my go-to the last couple of years.
Okay.
But it changes every few seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, usually I'll put out a record or two records or so with it. That
They're
tuning,
kind of devoted to that too.
Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, right?
It's kind of a vibe that I'm in for a while.
What you mentioned bands along the way, so you've obviously not been a solo artist the entire time you've been playing music. Have you've been involved in some different band projects?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of bands, mostly playing in other people's bands. In Salt Lake City, I played in a lot of bands. I had a band called Bramble that we came out for True False a lot. We were kind of like True False darlings for a little while.
Huh.
That's how I know about Columbia.
Yeah.
And then
what was Bramble's angle?
Oh, we were like
rock and roll or what?
Crosby, Stills, and Nash meets Backstreet Boys.
I love it.
Yeah. A lot of foot clapping or foot stomping and hand clapping and 4-part harmonies. And,
awesome.
It was really fun. And then I played in a lot of like, real loud experimental rock bands and some good like all country bands. I currently play in a really fun all country band with Steph Foley, who we were talking about earlier.
That was one of my next questions. Other projects that you're currently involved with. So yeah, all right. Steph's a friend of the program, and she's been in the gang for many years. Really exceptionally imaginative woman, and she's artistic as all get out. And she's been doing really funky, cool stuff in the music scene since about 04, 05 is when I kind of met Steph, and but she's still doing it. What's the name of that outfit? Yeah, what's the nature of that project?
So that's Steph's country band. It's called Volvet.
And that's an old name. She's under one or with different members over the years, but yeah, Volvet. You got to hold on to that one. It's too good.
It's real good. Yeah, and Steph does all the songwriting for that, and I play lap steel, and we're slowly working towards a record.
Cool. You play the lap steel in that project.
How long have you played that?
Lap steel only 3 or so years now.
Is it fun? It looks like it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it right now.
I saw a country show last Saturday. In fact, a week ago tonight, it was a guy named Charles Wesley Godwin, who's a up and coming country artist. But I'm not a lot for new country, but he's one of the few that nods to the old style, and he's very good. And he had a really good steel player.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
it was at Rose, and we were right up front. It was fantastic. Yeah. All right, so cool. So that was just something that you picked up because somebody was. They're like, hey, we need a steel player. Can you do that or what?
Yeah, I guess in kind of like this vein of music that I live in. There's the instrument, the Weizenborn, which is like a hollow body lap steel, more of a guitar than like the country lap steel.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
More of a Hawaiian instrument. And, which also the lap steel is more Hawaiian. We can get into all that later.
Right. But not like a dobro, like a resonator type.
Yeah, instead of a resonator body, it's more of a hollow,
like a guitar,
like a whole
like
hollow
a whole
body.
Okay.
Guitar.
I get it. Okay.
And that's kind of like a dream instrument of mine. And to practice, I picked up a lap steel because it was much cheaper. And then I fell in love with that.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Cool. So who else is involved with Volvet right now? It's you, Steph, and who else? Or just the two of you?
There's our bass player George, who's a dream. He plays in like Tri-County Liquidators.
No, yeah, another great band.
Yeah.
We got to get them on the program, actually. We need to get them here.
They're amazing.
Okay.
Right, they're so fun.
Okay, cool.
And then right now, Josh Cochran is playing drums with us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and it's us four.
All right. I don't see many shows. Are you going to perform and do anything out in public anytime soon?
Hopefully this spring we'll start playing out again.
So you're in sort of practice building material phase right now? Okay.
Yeah.
All original material or
all original material.
Yeah. You know, I remember years ago Steph did this cover of Nancy Sinatra. I'll never forget her playing this Nancy Sinatra song at the Blue Fugue on one of those open mic nights, like back at like 06 or something like that. And I remember that was the first night I thought, damn, she's really, really good.
Yeah.
And in a very unique sort of way, Steph's an extremely talented woman. Yeah,
a really special person.
Yeah.
Columbia's really lucky to have Steph.
I'll tell you what, we got a bunch of really talented people around here. I say it all the time, and we talk about it on the program. I mean, the fact that you're here and many before you, and it's just a thrill to have so many talented people around here that are accessible, and we get to enjoy the music and
Very diverse,
and learn their stories and stuff. I mean, this is gold.
Oh,
I mean, finding out. I mean, it's fantastic. So,
Yeah,
what about you playing out? Do you have any shows coming up?
Not in town until April.
Okay.
So I'll let you know closer to that.
the last one, in fact, it was very brief, but Chaz and Ray played a few songs at Hit Records maybe a month ago or so. In fact, it was sort of related.
It was part of the Columbia
Experimental Music Festival.
Yeah.
It was a morning show. I feel like Ray wasn't feeling well that morning either, perhaps. But at any rate, that was a great taste of some of the stuff that you're going to do, perhaps with her. Do you and Ray have a project maybe together?
Yeah, for the last year or so, it's been Ray and I playing as a duet, and we'll continue that, playing down South by Southwest. And
wow. Well, she's one of my absolute favorites. I talk about her all the time and for years, and I play a lot of her songs here on the program. And even though Ray and I have known each other for a long time, I've never had her on the radio show, and I'm so like it's like so bucket list for me. I'm like, I can finally just stop doing radio once I get Ray here. And of course today, couldn't quite pull it off. So
that's the elusive white whale.
Well, yeah, Ray Fitzgerald is my Moby Dick. I don't think so. Anyway, I love her, and she's fantastic. So I love the fact that you guys are going to be doing stuff together, and I look forward to seeing more of that out and about, because it's a unique combination of sounds. Ray's a little bit on the dreamy side, and very sort of can be etheric, if you want, something like that. But she's also a super powerful vocalist, and her voice is astounding. I think it's just fantastic, and I compare her to a whole lot of different women out there, vocalists. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the music, and I look forward to hearing more.
Thanks. Yeah,
with you and Ray.
Her songwriting is just incredible, and her as a person is just one of the most wonderful people I know.
Yeah.
So
all right,
that one we just heard is the last. You said you've been working on that one for a while. That's the one kind of comes to you that you.
Oh, that's this song.
Yeah, the one that we just heard.
And that hasn't been recorded yet.
No, that's like still the edge of my bed.
It's beautiful. By the way, absolutely beautiful. Yep. Thank you. Does it have a title yet, or it's just?
Well, right now I just call it Nora Nora.
Well, there you go.
We'll see.
You've been busy last year. There's quite a bit of material on on the web that you can access from maybe 2021, 2022. Want to talk a little bit about how busy you are and how much you work and how, I mean, are you? Let's talk a little bit about songwriting and what you do on a day-to-day basis to move your craft forward, so to speak.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff. There's a lot in the canon too, but a lot of it I've been involved in a lot of recording projects the last couple of years, especially once COVID hit. Everything kind of went online, which was both a hindrance, but also like kind of opened up the world to a lot of email collaboration.
I was going to say that you're not the first person that we've talked to that talks about how when COVID happened, we had to figure out a way to do your part and then send it over the internet and combine stuff and then end up doing mastering and mixing essentially with people in different cities, towns, etc.
It's been wonderful. Right now I'm a little burnt out on it, but it has been like really good to me, where I've got to play on a lot of really wonderful records, and then most notably started this ambient jazz quartet called Fuubutsushi.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I even know what it means.
Oh yeah. How about that?
Fuubutsushi. Fuubutsushi is the feeling you get when something is going to happen but it hasn't happened yet. Like maybe fall is coming and it's in the middle of summer, but you see a leaf or something.
Anticipating the change.
Yeah, that's what it is. Fuubutsushi. It's something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful
even today,
Japanese
almost snowing.
Concept.
You can sense the snow wants to come.
Yes.
Well, as a side note, I'm the curator of music, and I do a podcast for a woman who's named Rebecca Costa, and she's popular female news person basically. But anyway, for each one of her podcasts, I produce 3 or 4 different spots that are music breaks for the serious talk that she does. So we break it up and put some music in. And Fuubutsushi was one of the programs that I produced for her. And I should share that with you actually, because it turned out really really cool.
That's awesome.
So I appreciate you being part of that. I probably was, but wasn't aware of who was involved in that project. There's so much crossover in some of the stuff that Matt's been involved with and that he's brought into the music festival. Clearly this is sort of like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like in Fuubutsushi we play with Patrick Shiraishi.
Yeah.
And he came
incredible piano player.
Sax player.
Is there a pianist in Fuubutsushi?
Yeah, Matthew Sage.
Okay, that's okay.
Who's also who has some of my favorite records out on his own, and we played together for a decade or more now.
That's awesome.
And then and Patrick is just an unstoppable force of creativity, and who is just, if you ever got to see his live show or any of them, he plays seems like every day and every Friday he has a new album out. But he's an incredible and inspiring human being and like a force to be reckoned with.
And again, how did you come across these guys?
I think if you play kind of strange music, you all kind of find each other.
Sort of a birds of a feather thing, huh?
Yeah. Like everyone in the guitar world, we all kind of chat on Instagram and dork out together. And
has the social media thing really been? How would you describe that as far as like connecting with other people and stuff? Clearly, there's a positive side to it, because otherwise, how would you come across some people? But also, there's another side to it as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a love-hate relationship. Yeah, it has been really wonderful to connect with people, and I've made some really wonderful lifelong true friends via it, and had opportunities to do some great collaborations, and it's been a really wonderful tool for the most part.
That's awesome.
Very distracting tool, but very wonderful tool
Right.
when harnessed right.
Now you pretty much make your home in Columbia now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you have family back in Salt Lake still?
Everyone's back in Salt Lake
Yeah.
still.
And you get back there often enough or no?
Yeah, I'll be back there for a couple of weeks.
Oh, for the holidays.
Yeah, for the holidays.
Fun.
I go back at least I try and get like at least 4 times a year.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm a mountain boy at heart.
Oh man, I lived in Colorado for years, and I miss the mountains.
Oh, what part of Colorado?
I lived in Denver for about 20 years, but I worked for a woman who lived in Aspen, so I got to spend a lot of time.
Oh, nice.
Even though I didn't have the money, I got to hang out there.
Yeah, I lived right in between you. That's where I moved from.
Like Silverthorne or something like that, or
This town, Evergreen.
Oh, Evergreen's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not too far from Denver, actually, right in the foothills there.
Yeah, that's where I moved from.
Yeah. Wow, that's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What is it? The Morrison Inn. There's a great music joint up there. It's not far from Red Rocks or whatever. I don't know, but it's
the Morrison Hotel.
Yeah. Another great record.
Yeah. I lived like just right up that canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I miss the mountains, and I spent a little time in Salt Lake, but only I was in the snowboard business very briefly, and I would go to these trade shows, and they'd have trade shows in Salt Lake City because you had Sunlight and you had all 3 or 4 really high end ski areas, within.
Did you ever go to Brighton?
I went to Brighton.
That's where Lake Mary is from.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was one of the questions. Where does the name Lake Mary come from for an individual person with a musical project?
Yeah.
Most of the time, people name things if they have a band, right? The band is called Lake Mary, but in this case, the band is a one-man band, and the project is called Lake Mary. So it's from an actual location.
Yeah. It was a lake I grew up hiking to all the time with my family, and then later on spent like a couple months living up there, and it's like a place that feels like home to me.
Obviously,
like,
good memories.
Really healing place for me. Yeah.
Large lake or small? Is it hidden in the mountains, or is it open to access to everyone? Are there homes around it, or is it completely?
It's in the mountains, but it's not too difficult of a hike to get to. I think it's under 2 miles of a hike, but it is a good incline. Yeah.
Even I could get about halfway there.
And even that's a beautiful view. Yeah.
All right. Where are we? We're 4:55, so I'm close enough to the top of the hour for FCC purposes to say the top
I would like to hear another song, but at some point. I mean,
I know that's what we'll do. So we'll do that now, but I'll do the callers and stuff just to get the legal stuff out of the way, because you got to do it within 6 minutes at the top of the hour, so we're close.
Well, you're
now.
within that, I think.
Yep. All right, so you're listening to KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, 89.5 and a half on your dial, and it's also streaming always on the web, kopn.org. My name is Mike Hagan, and this is Open Mic Radio. We do it every Saturday afternoon, and my friend Kurt and I interview and get to have private concerts with some remarkably awesome, cool, fun musicians
We got the best seats in
from
the
all
house.
around these parts. So I forgot about Clark. He's so quiet in the corner there, but
Hey everyone.
Clark's usually enjoying it with us. So, and Memphis Chris just stopped in, and he's like a ghost, Memphis just sort of swings in and then he slips out. And
one of the many ghosts of Memphis.
Now, if you're ever looking for a harmonica player to collaborate with, he was the man. Memphis Chris, one of the most outrageously good harmonica players. He plays a harmonica like an electric guitar. He can play like a solo, like Smashing Pumpkins. I just saw an interview with Billy Corgan. They're one of my favorite old rock.
Known for their harmonica.
Known for their guitar solos. Memphis Chris can play that harmonica and make it sound like a Corgan guitar solo. And I challenge a lot of people to tell me the difference between the two.
Now, is it Corgan or James Iha?
Iha was a great guitar player, too.
Was my favorite.
I liked Corgan better.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear James Iha's one solo album? It was not good.
What was his band? His other band was A Perfect Circle.
A Perfect Circle?
No, that was that's the Tool. That's the Tool guy.
Tool, Iha, and Paz.
I didn't know Iha was part of Perfect Circle.
Yeah.
Wow, because I like that music. That's some
That's what made it perfect, Mike.
I'm telling you,
Was
Iha.
Okay,
you
now
the Perfect Circle without Iha.
my appreciation for James Iha just went up because I love Perfect Circle. Wow, and I love the Smashing Pumpkins. So anyway, okay, we digress. And
But we should actually tell our listeners, if they can, if they are so inclined, call in and donate to KOPN and keep the lights on here.
Someone's calling in anyway. You got ESP or something. We'll see who's here. Hi, it's Open Mic Radio. Who's this?
It's Justin. Justin Hickerson.
Justin Hickerson. How are you doing, my friend?
I think I got the wrong number. I was trying to order some lasagna.
Well,
sorry.
Sometimes I answer the phone, I'll be like Domino's Pizza, and people are like, I think I was trying to call a radio station.
Yeah, hey. Anyway, James E. Ho was totally in a perfect circle. I honestly think that he's what made that band what it was. Like it took it from being a super group to having its own sound. I think James E. Ho is a terrific guitar player.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm with you on that, man. It's the James E. Ho Power Hour now, man. Maybe James will call in. Hey, James, if you're listening, give us a call. It's 573-443-8255. We'd love to say hi.
No, I'm driving. I was listening to the show here, which is fun. But y'all start talking about what y'all were just saying. I was like, I gotta call. I don't know what
Did you hear me talking about fox teeth?
Oh no, I must have just missed that. I'm currently doing some work on my truck, and I hopped in for a test drive about probably 15 minutes ago. What were you saying about fox teeth?
You're not on the side of the road somewhere, are you?
Just that you guys need to come down here and do a radio program with me.
I think we would all love to do that. That'd be great. I'm just getting over a head cold.
Yeah.
So we had to miss our weekly practice this week because I was not in good shape about 48 hours ago. But next time we all get together, I'll make it a topic.
Yeah. Tell Mike and Marissa and who else? Joshua, right?
Yeah, Josh Wrong and Russ Barringer.
Oh, is Russ in the band too? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, you tell them all, right? Tell them that the Godfather says that you're making them an offer they can't refuse.
I will, and I might even try and get some chatter about James E. Ho in there.
Maybe Mike will devote a show. We'll devote an entire show to James E. Ho.
I think if we talk about him enough, he'll have to come, right?
He's got to call in at this point, I think.
Hey, you never know. Right now, there's someone on a social network saying, "Hey, they're talking about you."
Yeah, the Reddit thread is already 100 pages long.
All right, Justin. What else you got going, my friend?
Oh, not too much. Like I said, I've got a head cold, and then I'm not working on my truck because it's broken. I've recently, I'll make it all brief. I recently totaled my truck.
I remember. I'm glad you came out of that alive. That was a pretty serious accident, dude.
Yeah, and that's a whole other discussion thing. So, but yeah, I'm very grateful to have come out of that one unscathed. So naturally, though, I was very impressed with the safety features on the 2008 Ford F-150 5.4 3-valve engine. So I bought another one and kept this one because I just got done when I wrecked it doing 100,000-mile checklist. It had new everything. Everything was brand new on it. So I kept it, and I bought another one, and I'm in the process of basically doing to this truck in a single week what I did to that truck over the course of an entire year. So it's pretty cool. But right now I'm trying to dial in my mass airflow sensor. We're reading about 8 grams per second at idle at 500 RPM, and it really needs to be more like 6. It's just killing my gas mileage. My fuel trim is positive 25 right now, Mike.
I love your tune. I love your tune action, man. That's hilarious. Oh, Justin, you're my.
That's the thing. I was not to downplay the severity of the wreck and how lucky I was to be unhurt, but I was really bummed because the tires on that truck were less than a week old.
Oh my God.
All the mass airflow, everything. I was like, oh no, I need to get another truck to put all this stuff on. There's no way I'm going to get my money and time back on that. But anyway.
All right, dude. Well, we're going to get back to some music here. What are you doing for New Year's? Are you playing or anything? Or are you just going to...
I don't know yet. I don't personally have any performances on the book.
Okay.
I know the Hoot and Hollers are playing somewhere, and I don't know if I'm going to jump on the road with them for that or if I'm going to stay in town.
I think they're in St. Louis tonight, by the way.
Yeah, and I was going to try and go to that, but I've been very sick. Today's the first day I don't have a fever.
Yeah, you
so
still sound a little bit. You don't sound
It's
great.
been bad, man. I had an awful head cold, so I can vouch for Ray. If she's not feeling good, I feel for it. Just stay home.
All right. Well, feel better and talk to the band and get you here one of these days.
Will
all right.
do. Peace, dudes.
Take care.
James Eha for life.
James Eha for life, Justin. We love you. And he hangs up. All right, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Justin Hickerson, one of the most outrageously good drummer. He's a great guitar player, too, but a great drummer and a great friend and cool dude. So, anyway, cheers. Now, see, the ghost of Memphis Chris, he's back. You never know what he just kind of floats in and out. But
made it back.
You must have heard me talking about harmonica playing.
I'll sit down.
Oh, you were in here?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Let's get back to music. All of our listeners are going, okay, it's enough, Hagen. Put Chaz Prymek back on the air, okay? All right, Chaz, we've got plenty of time here. Kurt, let's hold off on our rundown.
I'd rather hear music
to the bottom of the hour, maybe something like that.
That sounds good to me.
And how about you got 30 minutes to kind of make yourself
I'll take it all
at home.
I'm sure our listeners
all right?
would rather hear some music.
All right, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. I am thrilled to have Mr. Chaz Prymek in the studio with us this afternoon. He is the brains behind the project called Lake Mary. You can find information about him online and all about... What's the best way, actually, to get a hold of you if people want to find your music, Chaz?
Oh, just call me.
Okay, 1-800...
No, it's usually, most of my music's on Bandcamp or Spotify or wherever you stream from.
Right. I'm a Bandcamp supporter. I think they're good, but better the artists at least. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
There's that. I'm on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, okay. Easy enough to find him, though. Chaz,
easy enough to find him.
Prymek, Prymek, all right?
That's right.
And we're going to hear some more music from the man himself right now. Yeah. All right, what are you going to do for us?
This piece is called So Long Favorite. It's the B-side from my newest record.
I've heard it, yes. I can't wait to hear it again.
Yeah.
All right, once again, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, and this is Chaz Prymek. Holy smokes. You're listening to KOPN Columbia 89.5 FM. It's Open Mic Radio, and we are pushing the limits this afternoon. Chaz Prymek in the house playing just amazing, remarkable, cool guitar stuff. And put everyone into I feel like I just took a gram and a half of mushrooms or something.
Beautiful. Beyond the gram and a half you took before the show.
Man. Holy smokes. Can you just play, just for, if you were in your own space, like when you're just hanging out, do you just play and go on for long time?
And forget to eat lunch?
I feel like you could just go on. I feel like it seemed like you could just go,
it happens sometimes.
All right, once again, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. We have Chaz Prymek in the house. He has a project, among others. It's called Lake Mary, and clearly you can get a feel for what he does. Remarkable guitar playing, and let's talk a little bit about writing and stuff. Do you write regularly? Do you do it daily? I want to talk about writing. I want to talk about recording. And I want to talk about equipment before we get done here.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So first, writing. Are you a prolific writer? Clearly, you write a lot, but do you do it methodically, or are you kind of the person that just writes whenever you feel like?
I'm most of the Lake Mary project is like cathartic. It's me usually processing something or feeling something really big that I need a place for it. And that's when I tend to write. I play a lot. And out of sitting at the edge of my bed or on the couch or something and playing sometimes for hours, then motifs show up, and then I'll start to kind of like put them together.
So I'm picturing almost like a block, like a sculpture, and you've got this huge body of just of playing and stuff, and then you start to sort of hone it down and into the parts that you like and put them together or something like that.
Yeah, it is a lot like that. Like when I'm improvising at home, there'll be like motifs I can kind of start to repeat over and over, and I'm like, that's usually a sign. I'm like, oh, there's something there. And it's usually what's the word I'm looking for? Usually correlates with something that like I'm going through at the moment.
So really personal. Most of your stuff is extremely personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least for the Lake Mary stuff.
Yeah.
There's plenty of projects out there that like are fun or
yeah, I got you.
For other means, but this one's like for me.
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the project that's the most successful of your, and that's a hard word to use, right? But it seems like that's the one that gets the most attention. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that or Fuubutsushi.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Certainly. Okay.
They definitely. Yeah. They have a light on them right now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool, right?
Yeah. It's very validating.
Yeah. Now, are there? Is that an ongoing project, by the way?
The Fuubutsushi?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just put out a new EP. We did like 4 over 2020, 2021, and 2020. I don't know.
Yeah, like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, we did 4 albums, and then we did one 30-minute long piece, and then we just recently put out a new 3-song EP, and are halfway done with a new album.
Dude, you're so busy.
We go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, do it while you got it, right?
Yeah, right? Might as well. What else am I doing?
Yeah. No, I love it. Okay, so recording. How do you go about recording? Do you have a particular person or people that you work with, or are you still doing a lot of stuff independently and then sharing it with others where it's built, like we were talking about before, like through email, etc.?
Yeah, still doing a lot of that. I prefer to be in a room together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's a different kind of.
It's really interesting. As a side note, the whole COVID business we were talking about, how that's how some of this evolved, was so much more independent writing and then collaboration over networks or whatever.
Right.
But I think it was also shown that how valuable live music really is, because not many bands or individuals, for that matter, were able to pull off the online shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And get any real sort of enthusiasm. That feeling of being in the room you can't replace it.
Yeah, no, it's unparalleled. My first show after after 2 years of not seeing live music, like I just wept the whole time.
Oh, I tell you what, I was so thrilled too. I mean, I don't know if I was crying the whole time, but I definitely was like, I really took this for granted. It's amazing that we have. Thank God we can do this.
Right, and it still blows my mind that we get to do it now. And it's
yeah.
Even though it feels a little bit more normal again, it's like you know, there's at least a minute every show where I step back. I'm like, I cannot believe this is what we get to do again.
I know.
You know, like this almost all went away.
Yeah. Well, I hope that. I mean, I understand there's a balancing act there between public safety and art essentially, but it is. I think one of the things we learned through COVID is the value of interaction, not to mention live music, but also the dangers and the troubles that come along with isolation.
Right.
So that hopefully we can learn from that if we have to go through anything like this again. So,
right.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like the value of art. Like,
oh my God!
You know, how many of us turn to books or records or painting,
and how much great art now has come and will come out of that period, right? I mean, you as a writer and many other people who we talk to say, oh yeah, you know, it was on the one hand it was a bitch, obviously, but on the other side I was able to bring it back to myself, close my circle off, and do some really cool art for myself, and maybe make some new stuff, and up the level of my competency on my instrument, that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was different, especially writing this new Slowgrass album.
Yeah,
that song,
which is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Because usually I take these songs out and I'll like play them around and shift them as I play, and get that instant feedback from an audience and. See how it feels, you know, and then I can shift it before I record it. And then with this one was all like, I hope this works, you know, I hope people like this. Right. This is all for me.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful, and I'm looking again at just some of the stuff you've done over the last couple of years, and Slowgrass is one of, let's see, was it Some Light?
Some Light.
I'm looking for it. I know there was.
It's on Chaz Knapp's.
That's okay. All right, maybe that's
page.
Right. Now,
what was Spotify?
Now,
stuff.
I also have a note here. It says Coda. What was Coda?
Oh, Coda was an album I made.
Because that was relatively recent too, I think.
Yeah, we put out like a reissue. Like we got it remastered, remixed. Took out a song or two that I didn't like anymore, and then put a few new ones in.
That's your prerogative, right?
Yeah. I was like, this one can go. Yeah, but yeah, so we put that out. That one's like a really special record to me. It was all recorded as I was living in different places, mostly improvised, and it's kind of like more of like a journal entry than a record for me.
Huh, interesting. That's a great way to put it. All right, quickly.
Can I ask
yes,
you?
Sure.
I asked you earlier about the tuning, but can I ask you about the guitar that you?
That's what I was going to say. We got one more.
Oh yeah, this is
what? Can you tell us a little bit about that? About your instrument?
Yeah, this is a Larrivee. They're very fancy. This was like the "Don't Touch Me" guitar growing up.
Are those made in Wyoming?
I have no idea, really.
No,
I mean,
Laramie, Wyoming.
Oh.
No, it's different. No. I'm sorry. No.
Nice. Well played.
Yeah, you know.
But this one was my dad's.
Oh, cool.
For as long as I can remember.
That's got some spirits in that one. Huh?
Yeah. And it was like the one you didn't touch growing up.
Right.
You can touch the other ones, which I all have now. But this one he gifted to me, I think like 6 or 7 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was a pretty big deal, and now it's my don't touch guitar.
And it has a wonderful sound. That's why I can tell
it's amazing.
You would not be allowed to touch it when you're
yeah. And
very good thing.
Your father's still around?
Still around, yeah.
And you ever have a chance to play music with your dad?
Not so much together. We have a couple times.
Uh-huh.
It's real special, but we do sit around and listen to records here and there.
Yeah.
Do you let him touch the guitar now?
No. I got to get my revenge somehow.
That's funny. Okay, so we could talk all afternoon, but we're on a clock here, and I want to get one more piece of music if we could. You think or no?
Honestly, that's all I practiced.
All right, well then we'll call it good. Because
well, then you can make something up.
No. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk for a few more minutes because I've got a few more questions, and then we're gonna close out with some Ray Fitzgerald.
Hey, perfect.
All right, that's what we'll do at the end. That's what we'll do at the end of the show. Because I told Ray I'd still love to play a couple of her songs. So we'll do that. Okay, what do you have planned for the rest of winter? Coming up in the spring, summer? You're recording more. You're writing all the time. Are you touring with anybody? Or are you going to do any shows?
Yeah, all of it. Well, first I go back to Utah. I'm just gonna hang out. But then come March, Ray and I will be doing a small Midwest run through Colorado, Utah,
Awesome.
New Mexico, Texas, down to South by Southwest.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
The project with you and Ray, are you calling it anything?
Just Ray Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just me in a supportive role.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, fantastic. Okay.
So we'll be doing that, and then I'll come April. I'll take Lake Mary on a Midwest Northeast run up to Chicago and Detroit and Pittsburgh and up to Brooklyn and back. And I'll have a quartet with me for that. And then
cool. What's the makeup? What instruments?
Lap steel, pedal steel, violin, and organ.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be really cool.
The organ, that surprised me.
Yeah. That'll be Chaz Knapp.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. You know,
We've
come full circle now. So.
Yeah. His records on his own are incredible.
Are you trying to reference Perfect Circle again?
Yeah, and back to James Iha.
Yeah.
All right, so
we're opening for James Iha.
Now that would be outrageous. How did you and Chaz Knapp come to become?
Honestly,
friendly?
I think over social media.
Yeah.
He wrote me that he really liked the record, and then so I listened to his stuff, and I really liked that, and then we just kind of went back and forth, and he was like a big place of support over this year, and then eventually a real wonderful friendship blossomed out of it, and we're like, let's do something together. Let's write a love letter to the Midwest.
That's awesome.
Because we both recently moved here, and so that's what Sunlight is, and we have 2 or 3 others coming after that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that gets you to the middle of the year, so I won't ask you anything further than that. So what we'll do is stay in touch, and next time you got anything you want to talk about or whatever, we'll get you back on the program, and we can. And we're definitely going to rain check with you and Ray. We'll definitely have
would love
the two to come back, and we'll do it again. So
get her healthy and back in here.
Kurt, let's take a few minutes and talk about what's happening around town tonight and earlier in the week. And Chaz, you're welcome to hang and chime in, because maybe some of these people are familiar, or you're familiar with them. Lots of times I'll be like, "Who the hell is that?" And then someone will say, "Oh, I know them." And so, all right. So what are you thinking, Kurt? I got a couple in front of me, but I'll let you take the reins here.
Well, when Violet was here, we mentioned that the dive bar tonight is our friend John Galbraith is at 8:00.
Right. What's that have to do with Violet?
She was here, and she mentioned he was playing. I thought, right?
Well, I don't know, but he's not playing a Compass.
Yeah, listen to that.
No,
but
a dive bar.
Yeah, but John came up.
All right, yeah, John did come up, and yes, he is playing at the dive bar tonight, and he's awesome. If you've never seen him, and I think he's probably playing with the band.
I thought when she was here, we were talking about that.
Yeah, we were.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it.
All
right,
okay,
just
whatever.
Was Violet here?
Was she? Yeah, was she? When did she come?
Right before James Iha got here.
Yeah, exactly.
Memphis John is here. Is he still here?
John the Baptist. Memphis John.
Okay, all the ghosts. All right. Rose Music Hall tonight. We got Dark Bellows Rock and Roll Holiday Show with Hang Your Hate, Lifeline, and Chemical Mass.
I've heard that Hang Your Hate is good. I need to check them out.
Well, we can go and find out. The doors are at 7 and the show starts at 8. It'll cost you $10 to get inside.
All right, that's at Rose?
That is at Rose.
What's happening at the Note?
And at the Note, I've never heard of this group before. It's called Private Event.
That'd be great to name your band Private Event.
Private. Pronounced
very good.
I'm sure you can show up and see how much you can get. I don't know how much tickets are on that one, but that's what's happening at the Blue Note tonight.
You know, if you wanted to start a band that would really not get any attention, you could call them Closed for Remodeling. And just put that on the marquee, and then see who's showing up tonight.
That's a good one.
Tonight, Closed for Remodeling. No. How about Free Beer? How about if you named your band Free Beer? Tonight, Free Beer.
Yeah.
You'd pack the place, right?
Yeah.
And then everyone would throw a fit when they had to pay fucking, $16 for a beer. Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. FCC calling.
They'll edit that later.
Yeah. Luckily, no one's listening. No. I'll watch the phone start ringing now, trust me.
Well, you said you had a couple things.
I got, what do I got? You said the dive bar. That's Galbraith, right?
That's John.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Upcoming show. Okay, there's nothing at Berlin. Cafe Berlin, actually next week.
Next week.
We're going to be off the air next week. So Dub Nub, Wetsuit and the Onions are playing on
Thursday.
On the 29th. Yeah. And Dub Nub is, if you're not familiar, that's sort of a revival of Three Sisters. Did a lot of like a cappella stuff and very strange instrumentation, sort of ukulele and like an Irish drum. And you know Goldie's Bagels, the new place that's on 9th Street there by Booch's?
The best bagels in the country.
I think her name is Amanda, but she's part of Dub Nub, and she's the wife of John Galbraith, not Galbraith, who runs Pizza Tree, who owns Pizza Tree. So anyway, it
really is a perfect circle.
It really is, and it's a crazy incestuous gang we have here in Columbia, Missouri. But anyway, Dub Nub, I'm excited to see them playing music again. They were really interesting threesome. And then on the 30th, there you have the Exploration in Underground Dance Music. That's going to be at Cafe Berlin on the 30th, so a couple weeks from now. What else? Pierpont Store, nothing happening there.
Nothing happening there or Cooper's. It's just a bit.
Eastside Tavern, we got something tonight. Travis Foots and the Stardust Cowboys, and they're good. That's JT's Schnackenberg is part of that project, I think. Anyway, the Sunshine Mamas and Dick Johnson again. Every time I say Dick Johnson, I laugh just because I can't believe it, that I've known the guy for years, but it really is his name. Sunshine Mamas as well tonight at Eastside Tavern, and then I think they do karaoke after that. And then there's some stuff happening in Jeff City, but I don't care to.
Well, and then I'd like to mention going back to the Rose on New Year's Eve is Don't Mind Dying.
Oh, with the Barroom Billies.
Yeah,
that's Heather and JT again, friends of ours. So
that's a 9 o'clock show.
That'll be
get
fun.
Tickets for $10 if you get them in advance.
Okay, you'll be in Utah. Is that right for New Year's?
That's right.
When are you coming back here?
I'll be back like the 6th.
In January? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Well,
all right,
and then at Compass, don't forget Compass,
yeah,
Friday, December 30th, we got Annie and the Fur Trappers.
Yeah, that's the show
that's 7 o'clock.
that Violet was talking about.
Yeah.
When she wasn't talking about
see,
John
we
Galbraith.
were talking to her, right? She was here, right? I was talking to Eha at that point.
You're in James Eha land.
Well, and then the Rose again, though, Thursday, January 5th. I know this is
getting ahead of ourselves now.
Yeah, but it's...
I might not be alive on January 5th.
Yeah, it's Samantha Furkey, so you're going to be there.
I love Sam.
There's a great show in May.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Cool.
This time next year.
All right. Well, I'm going to play a couple songs from Ray Fitzgerald. We're going to say goodbye to Mr. Chaz Prymek. Once again, thank you, my friend, for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
Had a great time, and you're remarkable. Thank
Beautiful
you for sharing your music with us.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love that.
And once again, easy to find him on the web. Bandcamp, Chaz Prymek, Prymek. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, you're nailing it.
And
you're the first.
And you can find him on social media. Just go out there and look for Lake Mary as well, and Fuubutsushi, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that he's involved with. So anyway, keep your eyes and ears open. Hopefully, we'll get some live music from Chaz in the spring here. So, all right, my friend. Cheers.
Hey, thank you.
All right, let's play one from Ray. Once again, from one of my favorite albums of all time. This is a song called Jackal No. 2 from Popular Songs from Wholesome Families. This is Ray Fitzgerald. You listen to it here, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
Sitting in my clean room, trying to clean my mind of you. I close my eyes to meditate. I open them to see your wake. I try to kiss your blue neck. Your father tells me to get back, and suddenly I'm floating watching outer space. I bet the worms are through your flesh. I bet it's only teeth that's left, never to clench again, never to hiss or hold your tongue in. They buried you a moment, though they knew you were a pagan. Still honored God's children, but you won't get your own heaven. You won't get your own heaven. I can't pay the same price twice. I can't pay the same price twice. They say you paid a price for an interesting life, but I can't pay the same price twice. I can see my wife in a base black dress, crying by my side, lighting my cigarette. When bones go hollow, will I lose my own marrow? If she ever can't swallow, will I dissolve with her? Dissolve with her. I can pay the same price twice. I can bear the same price twice. They say you paid a price for an interesting life, but I can't pay the same price twice. All my friends think you're meeting at some tree, but between you and me, won't you tell me that there's nothing? Tell me that there's nothing. If you could speak, I guess I'll believe in the tree. But I hear everything, and you're not saying nothing. You're not saying nothing to me. I can't pay the same price twice. I can't pay the same price twice. They say you paid a price for interesting life, but I can't pay the same price twice. I wanna be the name you call to your sick bed. When medicine fails to calm you, I'll be left, holding the light of God, living the dark of man, wrapping my cards in red, kissing your tired hand. tears run down his heart is on the bed. They say that the light of God stifles the dark of man. I stand in the shadow, illuminated. Tell you that his voice is just inside your head. I see you hit the water and sink as hard as lead. Honey, rest in the light of God. Honey, those were the darkest days. Copper and Genesis. Blame 'em for your mistakes. I'll leave this out for the light of day. The blinding headache all of the way. What good is the truth when you're dead anyway? Hey, what did I say? Oh, 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 what did I? Oh, what did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
Hi. It's KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. I just got lost in my Ray Fitzgerald there, so. Okay. We are about 5:52, so we're going to wrap it up here and make room for Rashumba. Oh, I should turn your reggae party. That's right, man. We got Rashumba and a reggae party coming up.
Start rolling your spliff now.
and stick around for some great roots rock and reggae music from 6 until 8. We got Chris with Blues on Broadway from 8 to 11. Keep it dialed in here, all right? Okay, so what else do we got to say? What's happening next week? I need to find a sub for next week because I'm not going to be here. So I will do that. And the week after that, we're back at you. We got a New Year's show featuring Amy McGovern's going to be here.
Nice.
And she's another really talented young woman around town. And I think that Bummy's going to be here too. So we're going to have a Bummy New Year.
All right.
So we'll have Amy McGovern and Bummy and probably a couple other surprises for the New Year's show.
We're going to have a holiday show with Bummy.
Oh, I can't wait. And also coming up in the next few weeks, Soft Crisis. Rashad, friend of ours from back in the day, played with the Cotton Mollies long time ago, but he's got a new project called Soft Crisis. We're going to get him here pretty soon. Derek Enyard, super talented dude from, I think he lives in Boonville. I'm not sure where he's from originally, but Derek Enyard here on the 18th of February. Manny Petty sometime soon. Nick Danger, The Brink, Ruby Lane will be back sometime soon. And some of our regular guests. So my email address is mikehagan@mikehagan.com. And the website, mikehagan.com, the podcast, get it, and send me music. If you want to get on the show, send us your stuff. And
let us know about your events, too.
Yeah, and we'll share it with other people, and we'll try to find a way to get you on the program if that's something you'd like to do, okay?
Can't promote you unless you promote yourself.
That's right. Okay, so you've been listening to it, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the weekend. Be cool to yourselves. Be cool to other people, please. Stick around for Rashumba, and we'll catch you all next week. No, we won't. 2 weeks from now. Have a Merry Christmas. If you celebrate it, Happy New Year, all that stuff. Week. I want to be in Phoenix, Arizona,
Phoenix.
or
That's
thereabouts. Yeah.
Okay, you keep telling me different places. I thought it was Florida at first.
Kurt, get us out of here.
Thanks a lot. There you go. Have us open mind.